Hey there, everyone. Dave Barlow here with the gang from Sell for 1% Realtors. Actually, it's a smaller gang than usual this morning. Mike is off to Mansfield. Jason's off to do showings. And since me and Jamie don't have really a whole lot to do here this morning, Ryan, you're stuck with us.
Hey, I'm happy with that. No worries with that.
So, Ryan, yesterday the Fed raised the basis up 0.25 basis points. What are you seeing with interest rates? How has that impacted the market?
Yeah, great question. So obviously keeping the inflation fighting streak alive, the Federal Reserve announced that they were going to be raising that 0.25%, like you mentioned. Honestly, the biggest impacts on, like, as far as mortgage rates go, we actually saw a slight improvement overnight on where the interest rates were at. We're not going to anticipate that mortgage interest rates get heavily affected by them raising the interest rate 0.25%. There was already anticipation that this was going to happen. This wasn't catching us like blindside by any means. Unlike last year, March it got raised March of 2022, it got raised 0.25%. In June, which is when we started to kind of see interest rates go up even more, last year of June was when they raised it 0.5%, which we were not anticipating. And then the biggest one since 1994, I believe it got raised 0.75% in June of last year. So it was a pretty big one for that. So interest rates aren't going anywhere. We're actually going to start to see it kind of start to dial down. What I am more tuned in to is going to be the jobs reports that the meeting is going to be reporting tomorrow. That's going to be more impactful on where mortgage rates are going to be at. And then the most one that's going to be the most impactful is going to be the CPI report, which is going to be next week. The consumer price index. So that is going to be the one that is going to catch my eye. Those two things kind of more directly reflect and kind of can change where mortgage interest rates are going to be at. But as far as them raising it from 5 to 5.25, our pricing, we are already anticipating that. So not going to be a big deal for mortgage interest rates in the future. We're going to start to kind of see everyone anticipating we're going to start to see the mortgage interest rates actually start to kind of go down now that we're getting in the latter half or the second part of the year.
Okay.
Right. And I've been seeing, just from watching trends, the CPI and jobs report tend to have a little bigger effect on mortgage industry and where your guys' numbers kind of shake out.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, the interest rate typically doesn't affect anything, especially since we are already anticipating them raising it to fight off, inflation already. So we are already kind of taking that into consideration. I think that we're going to have,
in it, as they would say.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Big heavy quotations right there.
Well, the wild card, I mean, that 0.25 is coming.
Yep.
And have known. I think they're already predicting for the next, Fed, it's going to be another 0.25 point. So market build that in.
Yeah.
Right. Wild card, as you mentioned, is unemployment.
Yeah.
And then CPI is another wild card because the market is trying to price in whatever the estimates are. And then depending on high, low, right on, then the market reacts.
Yep.
And so as I understand it, Ryan, that we're actually, and it's counterintuitive, that we're rooting for more unemployment and, and lower CPI.
Yep, unfortunately, you are correct, sir.
Yeah, it's like, hold on a second. I want to go America, go!
Yep, but you don't at the same point. It's weird. It's weird concept to have.
We want you to be unemployed. Like,
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, so.
It doesn't. But, when they all break it down, unfortunately, for our economy to kind of ebb and flow, there has to be people who are unemployed and there has to be employed. We're taking an account to all of that. And that's why we have fluctuating markets.
Okay. And so just real quick, and I know the numbers are floating depending on credit score. And now we have our good friends, the FOMC or whatever it is, that are, charging a little bit more. But what are you seeing interest rates right today, which is May 4th?
Yeah, so if we're looking at like a $300,000 loan, 5% down, top tier credit score, you're gonna be anywhere in the low to mid sixes, around that ballpark. If you're going under, around like a 680 credit score, you're probably gonna be in the mid to high sixes, potentially low sixes, or potentially low sevens, sorry, and anywhere in between that. So just depending on the client's specific situation, I would say low sixes to low sevens, sorry.
Okay. And so are you like at 6 and an 8? Is that the
I would
low sixes?
I would put it at low sixes, yes.
6 and 8.
I would say, like top
6 and a
tier,
quarter.
a top tier profile, I would put at like a 6 and an 8 to 6 and a quarter. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's better than last week.
Oh yeah. Interest rates have improved where we were seeing them at 2 to 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And I think it's going to continue that trend slowly. I think it's going to continue it slowly now. We're not going to see anything where we're going to, be in the 5s or mid 5s or low 5s, right? We're going to continue a slow trend now that we're starting to finally, our economy is starting to get to a financial balancing point where, the Federal Reserve does not believe that they're going to have to make a hike or increase in the interest rate again. So when they say that typically means good jobs, and then our CPI is going to be finally balanced as well. So I think everything all take into consideration, we're going to end up, seeing what all the experts are saying starting in the second half of the year.
They're only about 7-8 months behind.
Yeah. Typically as well.
That was the prediction last November.
Yeah, Fannie Mae had predicted that it was going to be mid fours right. by the end of first quarter of this year. So just a little bit behind.
Yeah, I remember that.
You got to stay positive.
Video. Yeah,
we are very positive. I mean, anything that you...
I do. It is going to increase. It is definitely positive. The market's going to continue to,
get better,
increase and get better, right?
Yep.
And
it's just not a swing of volatility one way or the other.
Right. It's still going to be competitive. I know you guys know that, but with the inventory being down, especially in Columbus, Ohio, specifically in Columbus, inventory being down and with jobs still kind of increasing, people are still fighting. So purchase prices are going to continue to stay the same or go up, specifically in Columbus. But
it depends on who you talk to. We have an appraiser that just appraised a property and said that the condos in the Dublin, Ohio area have decreased by 7.2% since last week. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, when purchase prices were absolutely insane, because that's when interest rates started to increase at that time. So,
but even so, they haven't decreased. So,
but yeah,
I wish I could buy a condo in Dublin for 7% less than last year.
Yeah,
I'd be buying them all day long. All right, Ryan. Well, thank you very much. Ryan, as you see on his shirt there, NFM Lending. And his contact information is here. He's got a lot of great knowledge, a lot of great information, does a great job. He's one of our go-to lenders that we use here at Sell for 1%. You got any questions, give Ryan a call. Contact information is here on the screen, and he'll get you pointed in the right direction. So thank you, Ryan.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.